everyone, Chivos here, bringing you another Hyundai A-League Fixture review, which saw, the fixtures of week 17. Now, what a weekend it was, so many goals. The first game of the weekend saw Western Sydney Wanderers beat Melbourne City 4-3 in a 7-goal thriller. Nichols scored the first for Wanderers, gave them 1-0 lead at half-time. The 6 goals and a red card in the second half saw quite an exciting match. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers ended up 3-0 up at the 65th minute for 2 goals in 2 minutes, saw Melbourne City in close range. But Casares was sent off after receiving 2 yellow cards in the 85th minute. It did really cost them because Sanslab managed to grab the 4th goal for the Wanderers. It wasn't enough though. Eric Pardew bagged a 93rd minute consolation. 4-3. Melbourne City tried to push in the later stages of injury time. They couldn't do it. And the Western Sydney Wanderers did pick up the win. And the win also sees them remain at the top of the table. Now, the second game of the weekend saw Central Coast Mariners beat Wellington Phoenix 3-1. A pretty quiet first half, saw it 0-0 at the break, but Liverpool legend Luis Garcia was introduced after the halftime break, and what an impact he made. 5 minutes after his introduction, he scored a magnificent backheel goal. It is going to be seen on the A-League highlight reel for years to come. Fantastic goal. I quite thoroughly enjoyed it. He also had a hand in the following 2 goals, and Central Coast Mariners were up 3-0 at the 85th minute. Now, they did concede a goal during the stages of injury time. Blake Powell managed to grab the consolation there for Wellington Phoenix, but obviously it wasn't enough. Now, Wellington Phoenix do see themselves in a bit of trouble. Apparently, they have signed a striker on loan for the rest of the season, though. I'm not sure. I will tell you more news when I do find out. So stay tuned for my Hyundai A-League fixture preview later in the week. Now, the third game of the weekend saw Brisbane Roar beat Sydney FC 3-1. Jamie McLaren opened up the scoring in the 8th minute and gave Brisbane Roar the lead. Now, obviously, Brisbane Roar have struggled without the likes of McLaren, Donachie and Barallo. McLaren's back. He bagged 2 this weekend. And I'm telling you now, he was the missing link for Brisbane Roar. There is no doubt about it. Matty Mackay, you can say whatever you want. You did bag a goal, you did well, but he's blaming the team as a whole. It's not that. Without Jamie McLaren, you guys are nothing. Alright? I hate to say it, but he is your key player, and it's clearly shown. Just like you were with Bessart Brusha, now you have Jamie McLaren. It's the same situation. But Garcia Perez accidentally scored an own goal, which levelled the scores. It wasn't enough though. Mackay and McLaren added to Brisbane's score tally. They saw him beat Sydney FC and keep in touch with league leaders Western Sydney Wanderers. Sydney FC look to be in a bit of form, and things aren't going well. Adelaide United are close up. They're really close now, and they could potentially overtake them, and Sydney could drop to 6th position on the table. And with news, Alex Gersbach has apparently he's being transferred. Apparently he's going to the Tipper League, and I can't remember what team he's going for. $500,000 was the transfer fee. Now, is this a good move for Sydney FC? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. He only had 6 months of his contract remaining, so I think he would have gone abroad anyway. So I think it's good for Sydney FC to pick up some money for that deal. But I think the other problem is they're going to be leaky at the back now. He was very vital to the football they played, and now it could really cost them in the long term. So let me know what you guys think there. The fourth game of the weekend saw Perth Glory beat my team Melbourne victory 3-2. Now, let's just be serious here. A terrible start for Melbourne victory and some questionable refereeing is what really made the difference. But put the refereeing aside, Melbourne victory didn't turn up. The first half an hour again is where we lacked, and we've done that 3 games in a row. 3 games, it's not acceptable. We need to start as soon as the first kickoff happens. So, it's disappointing. But 2 goals there for Bessart Brisha, and also 2 goals there for Diego Castro. A Panenka penalty as well. But I've already covered this match. It's in another video. So make sure you guys do check that out. I will leave a link down in the description below. It is heartbreaking to see Melbourne Victory not capitalising when they have to. Now, the final game of the weekend saw Adelaide United beat Newcastle Jets 1-0. A first half goal from Kruska saw Adelaide United grab 3 points and close the gap between themselves and the top 5. As I said, they could really overtake next weekend. So Adelaide see themselves unbeaten in their last 9 fixtures. They've also won 4 on the bounce. So they are playing fantastic at the moment. They are sensational, and it's good to see a bit more competition down towards the bottom of the table. Newcastle Jets, on the other hand, they are really struggling, and Central Coast obviously picked up a win this weekend. If Central Coast can find some form now, Newcastle Jets are in some serious trouble because they could see themselves sitting on the bottom of the table. But forget that for now. Let's focus on the A-League ladder and see what's been happening. Western Sydney Wanderers top the table, obviously, 33 points. Brisbane Roar reclaim second place after a win. They are on 31 points, and Jamie McLaren proving to be the difference there. Melbourne City have dropped 3 points against Western Sydney, so that was a huge loss of points for them. And what can I say? Melbourne City failed on their chance to go top of the table. Melbourne Victory, we did lose. Nothing's changed for us. So Sydney FC lost as well. Nothing changed for them. That's good to see. Adelaide United. This is what I was talking about before. With a win next weekend, they play against Sydney FC. With a win next weekend, if results go their way, they could go as high as 3rd on the table. Absolutely huge. So it's crazy. Perth Glory picked up a win. They are closing the gap between themselves and Adelaide. Do they have enough time? 10 matches left to go in the season. Can they reduce this gap? I don't know. Especially with the form Adelaide are in, it's really questionable. Now, Wellington Phoenix, their season's over. Injury crisis everywhere. Nothing they can really do about it. Newcastle Jets, they're also in a crisis as well. I think their season's also over. They don't want to finish at the bottom of the table, but either to Central Coast. And Luis Garcia has made an impact down at Central Coast. And let's see if he can get those boys out of 10th place. Let's see, even 9th would be good for Central Coast, considering how bad they were at the start of the season. Western Sydney Wanderers had a slow start. Adelaide United had a slow start. Central Coast, will they find something at the back end of the season? Who knows? Now, looking at the Golden Boot, Bruno Fornaroli, 14, Barisha, 13, Navio, Castro, and McLaren all on 9. So that is actually getting tighter, which is good to see. But Fornaroli and Bessart Barisha, these two are 2 guys to watch out for. Navio has been scoring quite frequently now. Castro, 7 in his last 6, has pushed right up there. And Jamie McLaren, the front man for Brisbane, you always have to count him in. Now, assist-wise, Aaron Moy, the playmaker for Melbourne City, 14. No one is going to catch him. I've already called it. Broich and the Western Sydney Wanderers boys here. Forget it. Aaron Moy has already pulled that out. Now, saves, Thomas Sorensen. He's the reason Melbourne City is so high. You know, they've only conceded, what? 31 goals. Don't get me wrong, 30 only. I shouldn't have said only, but if you think about it, if he wasn't there, it would be much more, and they would really be struggling. Now, Birighetti and Moss. Birighetti could catch Sorensen there, but Glenn Moss, Kovic as well, a bit too far off, and Danny Vukovic now in the table there. Completed passes, Miguel Engel, Garcia Perez, and 3 other Brisbane Roar players. So you can tell Brisbane Roar like to play possession game. They like to pass the ball around. And in the clearances, we have Matthew German from 66. 2 of the Wellington Phoenix boys, Durante and Muscat there. Paddy Kisnorbo and Lee Broxham round out of that. But that is it for my review for the fixtures of Week 17. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. And hopefully I catch you guys on another video.